send one more for the road. This looks fine. I think I'm locked into playing the temple on one. I think I keep land, Whisperwood Elemental. I think I ship a 7-drop. I think I ship. So definitely ship any 7-drop or Genesis Hydra. Um, Keep Xenagos, ship Pelucranos. The interesting card, I ship another Courser. The interesting cards are what do I do about Elvish Mystic and probably ship Caryatid. Probably I think Elvish Mystic and Death Mist Raptor are the two cards that are interesting to scry into here. I'm gonna keep that one. I honestly don't know what I'd do if I'd flipped a Death Mist there, whether I'd keep it or not. I have a feeling that the answer is supposed to be yes, but I could be wrong. Okay. So here we go. Oh, okay. Whew, that's a little easier to beat. I thought we were playing against blue-black. Basic Force implies it's not. I don't know why, but I'm kind of liking the idea of attack plus play a morph over play a Courser and no attack. I think so. Here's the interesting part. I think that if I'm going to draw a land, I'm okay with that anyways. Um, the playing, I think attacking with Rattleclaw is worth 2 to yeah. Okay, attacking with Rattleclaw. I like this the best because it guarantees me a Whisperwood next turn, or is the best guarantee of it. And it possibly guarantees me it while attacking. This is probably like some kind of whip deck I'm playing against. I'd rather not get bogged down into a Courser game. Ooh. So we're probably against the Solatheros deck? Yeah, I didn't really. So the other thing that I kind of haven't discussed is I didn't really feel like playing Pelucranos into my opponent's setup there because it really kind of just like. It felt like my opponent was leaving up like an ultimate price. I didn't just want to like trade my turn there inefficiently. Now this isn't the best setup either. 3. But I have stuck a Whisperwood at this point. And that's gonna get pretty crazy. Yeah, I think that was actually the point of the game that I needed to get to the most, was getting this Whisperwood into play. Then getting the next, because that's probably how I can easily run away with the game. It's fine. There's another one. This is actually the right play. Because I'd rather have Whisperwood in play and be getting closer to casting a relevant card, like a Hornet Queen or something. I think my opponent's obligated to Obs on Charm here. No? Okay. It's fine by me. So my opponent, I know, has Siege Rhino Obs on Charm. Nykthos would have been convenient. 7 mana? I can trade this and most of my turn. I don't like that idea. I also like the idea of putting the Whisperwood into play and putting my opponent kind of under the gun. Oh, is this just 5 color dragons? I thought that. Yeah. For some reason, the Temple of the Deceit just reminded me of like the Caleb D deck from way earlier in the year. This is like the really awkward stage of the game where my opponent's stuck attempting to like make one play a turn into me doing stuff. Is that a from hand Windswept Heath or a top of library? I didn't actually pay attention to where it comes from. Doesn't really matter at this point. Interesting. So I think the right play here is attack with these two. Um, so I don't think this manifest is worth anything. My opponent already knows the first one is a brick, and this attack makes it so if my opponent Obzon charms my Pelucranos, then I could potentially threaten to flip up the other thing and like just eat the Courser for free. But I think that just got me a free 5 damage. And if my opponent isn't smart about it, it might lose them a Courser too. No, I'd rather actually just play this Rugged Highlands and get to Genesis Hydra for 7 next turn. I don't mind. Like, I could play the Foothills and pass, and then if my opponent Obzon charms my Pelucranos, I can fight down the existing Courser. But just being able to Genesis Hydra as soon as possible here is probably more important. What's the target here? Pelucranos? I don't need that card. We have proceeded past Pelucranos. I was about. I've been playing too much Modern. I was gonna wonder why my opponent didn't fetch a tapped land there. It's not how things work in this format. Oh, my opponent got to do 2 things in one turn? That's so lucky. So my opponent's hand is not Ojutai because they shuffled that away to make 2 plays. Which is actually pretty fortunate for me because that's kind of a problematic card for me at this point. So it's Siege Rhino, and they've used their charm. They're drawing another charm. It's 3 charms down. think I can't just like not react to this rhino. That's just atrocious if I do that. Big money? Ugh. Does, what does this do? Is it reveal? So I think so. My options are Xenagos or Corsair, right? So if I take Xenagos, does that force my opponent's hand in interesting ways? I don't think so. The charm just gets spent there. The attack, I put everything on the Rhino. Still lose it. I could keep it if I want. Less than 8? 8 is not correct. I think the right answer is Xenagos. That got pretty good. So now we're just passing. My opponent basically has to kill Xenagos this turn, otherwise they lose the game. So this actually gets interesting how I block around this Obzon charm. If my opponent waits till after attacking, which they didn't. Could not throw away cards faster. Actually, I should have blocked with everything there. I could have taken out the Rhino. That was a huge mistake. I just got really excited by the prospect of Corsair being in play. Wow, that was terrible. I should have thrown everything in front of it. So Dem Protector on the way. Why did I do that? That was a mistake. I should have waited till after I Hydra'd to play my land. I don't think going a card deeper actually matters. However, I think going a bunch of cards deeper does. That might not even be right. I don't want to continue. Now that I've made this play. 9. I think leaving the Rattle Claws back to block is kind of interesting. I think 10 is probably enough. Okay. I think Hornet Queen is better than Atarka here. I think Atarka just kills one of my opponent's creatures. Hornet Queen just did all that stuff out of here. Yeah, so I didn't get punished for my play. of failing to do the thing, failing to playing the foothills first and not waiting to see if I hit a land on top after shuffling. Um, and then the herb organ play, so I get to have it for one. I'm gonna fetch on my upkeep. What did they get back? They got back Abzan Charm almost surely, which should probably just be put. So it's probably. Let's see. The right line for my opponent is Downfall the Hydra, Abzan Charm the Den Protector. Probably it. That's actually kind of loose. You're not gonna race the Hornets that way. Though I guess my blocking squad isn't the best then. That's fine. My opponent just wants to use removal this way. That works perfectly fine for me now that I have a Hornet Queen in play. Still fine. So let's not draw this clunker. Draw anything but. See, strict upgrade. Death Mist is pretty good here. But first, I've got some combat business to take care of. This is actually kind of interesting. I think this is right. The reason for this is I think this gives me the most quality potential blocks. For that Siege Rhino next turn. Just play this, gain my life. I'm not going to play the Rattleclaw because I'd rather use it as another Death Mist Raptor. Like, if I just leave back one insect... Actually, maybe... So if I leave back one insect and it gets Murderous Cutted, I'm okay throwing a bunch of crappy Death Touch creatures in front of the Siege Rhino. I will immediately double block that Siege Rhino. Is this the second or the first? This is the first. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to let Murderous Cut be used efficiently here. Maybe I could have thrown away some Rattleclaw Mystics there. Here's the other Rhino. I don't want to draw that card. Why can I not make an action? There we go. Let's see what level my opponent's on. As long as my opponent has a removal spell in hand, I don't really want to end up with combats that involve Siege Rhino being blocked by insect tokens. I'd much rather put like Courser and everything else in front of it. Yeah, it's a Den Protector on top. That's kind of awkward. So I think actually, if both of those attack, I put the Raptor and my 3 mana. Okay. Block like this. That's fine. Actually, should do this first. I do have 2 mana up now. Oh, that's good. um, it's kind of interesting here what I do. If I'm supposed to, nah, I just death mist. Who am I kidding? Yes, face up because I don't have enough mana to flip it face up next turn. Play my land. Um, I think I just need to squad as hard as possible here. Courser attacking, being blocked does get me value, especially with the replacement one on top. Rattleclaw being blocked, I think, also gets me value. This is a pretty aggressive attack. Don't really want to play to outlast my opponent, though. I'm okay with throwing away something into the Den Protector chain. I think that ties up a little bit too much of my opponent's mana. I think maybe the Mystic could. The Mystic just gets eaten by the Den Protector's the problem. No, that's actually fine. I actually should have just attacked with everything. Jeez, this is game 1? Oh. I know there's a Murderous Cut in my opponent's hand. I think I have to play the Atarka. Just so I don't... I think that taking 4 damage next turn is kind of unacceptable. Maybe I should have left back an Insect token. I just feel like this is a board state where giving my opponent additional time doesn't really benefit me. I think killing that second Courser is actually relevant, though. Dead and 2 hits to the Den Protectors anyways. Drawing another Courser, though. I think I throw away the Mystic to make the math work out there. So I can survive another hit from Den Protector. Yeah, that's fine. What are we getting? I think Siege Rhino might actually be the right pick. No, that's not true. Yeah, definitely throw the Mystic. Let's probably get Den Protector, play other Den Protector, pass. Yeah, maybe the attack was just a little too aggressive, but got a little bit of damage. That is a good top deck. I have no use for any of those cards, so these attackers will be attacking. I have, what? Not cast any other Atarkas. So the thing to think about is if I hit Pelucranos, where things go. That really defines how much I leave up. I'm trying to think if there's a way to Hydra leaving up 3. Why did that Den Protector not flip? Did I miss there not being a green up? More realistically, I guess it's probably just a misclick. Or may just not matter. Is this a Siege Rhino? That's what I figured. Yeah, I'm going to go to 3 on this attack. Opponent's drawing Downfall. Am I getting double Siege Rhino out here? That would be disappointing. Well, I don't actually think... I think I want all my creatures up, but I don't think there's any way I can play Pelucranos here. Well, Hornet Queen is clearly the best card. Oh wow, I punted horribly. Wow, I just didn't even think. I'm like, yeah, it's the best card, and it's actually just enough that I die. Oh wow, that was terrible. I forgot I was like facing down Den Protector, and I was just like, oh, that's the best card for me stabilizing the board state here. I actually needed to take the Whisperwood so I could block a Den Protector, and now I lose the game because of that. I was too busy thinking, like, I was assuming my 7-drop would be a Tarka, and that would kill my opponent, but that didn't do the job. Yeah. Definitely want this one. Definitely want this one. What do I not want? Probably one of these. Card just seems like it dies. These are all great. This is great. These are all great. Great. Probably just one of these. Maybe I want a Nisa? Yeah, I think that might be the case. I don't think Xenagos is doing a lot. Even though I'm boarding up to 8 drops, but that was a pretty big mistake. Nope. This hand is easily better than any of the other hands I've seen. So I have a feeling this deck plays out of mulligans pretty poorly. Yeah, as I was saying, we are, a full 5 cards short of having the mana to cast that Ugin. 6 cards short. What's probably going to happen in this game is we're going to get Thoughtseize, lose our Caryatid. Opponent's going to play a Scryland or a tap land of some kind. We're going to probably die to a Hero's Downfall. And so we have the classic Green Devotion failure game. It's not. Opponent could just not have a removal spell. I guess they did mulligan. Okay, Courser. You're going to have to do me a couple solids this game. Okay. I'll take any land anywhere at this point, I guess. Not blocking. My opponent is likely going to beat me with Ugin before I can beat them with Ugin. Okay. Oh, that was a... Actually, I think in order to keep playing this game, I might have to play the Pelucranos. I had this moment of like, oh wait, I want to play the second Courser, but I don't think that's even true. Two more lands. Another Rhino. Rule spell's kind of problematic here. Yeah. Can't really block. That's actually not half bad here. Oh, wow, that's actually exceptionally good here. Wow. That's a lie. It's a little less good than I think it is. Um, yeah, okay. So the problem with this is that my opponent can minus Ugin for 3. I can't attack. I'm trying to think of why I don't double block here. I know Satyr, Wayfinder, and Ugin. Is that right? My opponent did not shuffle away the Ugin. fine. It's actually less than fine. So they got Temple of Silence. Getting Murderous Cutted as... no, the two cards in hand are Ugin and Temple. So I'm not getting cutted. So it's 5. I'm a mana short of casting a Tarka. So how do I continue to play this game? I don't think I can with the Hornet Queen on top. If I had a land on top, I'd be okay. But as is, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, untap 3 4s. If this was a force, I'd still be dead because I couldn't cast a Targa. Make a 4/4, it gets charmed, and then then I'm down lands and I'm dead. Oh, I can still hit a land. Okay, cool. That's what it is. And then die to Ugin. That's not the point. At least I tried. I'm also giving my opponent the opportunity to punt this game by doing this. Drew another? So there's another Obzon Charm on top? Okay. So if none of these creatures attack Nissa, I have an out. They both attack Nissa. I do not believe I have an out. Oh, no, that's not true. The Tark here. No, I'm dead. Because of the second charm. So the first charm saves... So even if I could hit a Tarka this turn, the first charm would put 2 counters on the Siege Rhino, and the second charm would exile my Dragon Lord. Okay.